UFC, one of the biggest brands in the world. I mean, I would argue, and there's a few of these brands, but I would argue that you could go to any corner of planet Earth and you could wear or have on a UFC hat or UFC shirt or whatever, and people would recognize that brand.
Yep.
Period. And amazing story about how UFC almost went away and then made a massive comeback to where it is now. But to give some context, to the UFC brand, there's been a ton of growth planning that's happened in this last couple of years. And interestingly, be interested to hear your opinion on whether or not you think COVID actually may have helped this a little bit in terms of establishing, maybe slowing things down a little bit so you can maybe get your arms more around it, because this is a massive machine. So how many clubs are we talking about that are currently in the United States, currently global, and what is planned over the next, say, 2 to 5 years?
So in the U.S., we've got just over 30 that we own or operate. And then we've got, if you add in just domestic franchises, you're at about 100 gyms in the U.S., which that's not small. That's big right there. And then internationally, we're really close to 50 that are open currently internationally. So all in, we're sitting about 150 gyms right now. And in the countries that we're open in, probably 20 countries that we're open in. Development deals that are signed, right? Which then now it starts to, we've currently got development deals signed in 39 different countries. And we're on the verge of having development, those 10-year development deals, with extensions and options for another 10 years on top of that. But all of their development schedules are for their full maturity to be reached inside of 10 years of their deal being signed. We're right on the verge of 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just went from 150 to 1,000
inside of the next thing. So 2022 is going to be weird because we thought we'd be done with this, and apparently we're not.
There's a lot of variance out there, man.
There's variance. So we'll see what happens in 2022. But conservatively, I'd say 25, 30 gyms will open in 2022. So we'll be approaching, 175, 180. After that, you're probably looking at domestically, I would think that we'll open 15 to 20 a year in the U.S., 2023, 24, 25.
That's combined franchise and corporate owned?
Yeah. And then internationally, 75 a year for the next, and that's going to be 75 a year for 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row.
Wow.
So, at that point, you're talking about opening up 2 gyms a week for 4 or 5 straight years.
This is like the Starbucks story. Like when I think there was a time when they were opening a new Starbucks like every 2 minutes or something like that in the country or globally.
Yeah.
It was insanity. It might have been even down to seconds. Like within a minute, there was
another
Starbucks opening. I mean, that's what it calculated out to.
Yeah.